Hello there. Well, fellow YouTuber, the Silver Fox, has been arrested here in the UK by our new state police force. How long have we been a police state, I hear you ask? Well, ever since the hurty feeling and offended by everything minority started stirring the pot. At least it's beginning to feel like we're in a police state, that's for sure. Plus, we're going to be asking, could David Lammy really be considering sending millions of our hard-earned pounds to the Caribbean as reparation? Welcome to Grey Matters. Hello, and welcome to Grey Matters, the channel that promotes the fact that the older generation still matters and has relevance, and which looks at issues that matter to the older generation. Now, before we get into it, since our last subscriber update, I'm delighted to tell you that we've now exceeded 36,000 subs, and our total views are just shy of 2.2 million, which is fantastic. Thank you all very much for your support. Secondly, we've noticed that we're getting many more comments from our friends across the pond, so big shout out to them. Welcome aboard. They're obviously posting at night when I'm tucked up in bed, because all those comments are there ready for me to read in the morning. Most of the comments compare what's happening to us here in the UK with what's happening to seniors over there. And we also have viewers in Australia, Scandinavia and the Netherlands who are also making similar comparisons. And it makes for fascinating reading, especially regarding the Are They Culling Us edition, which with nearly 250,000 views and over 5,000 comments makes it the channel's most popular video. So thank you all for contributing to that. And if you are from outside the UK, do keep those comments coming and do let us know where you're from as well. We love reading them. And finally, in this preamble, some of our long-time subscribers have been asking what's happened to our travel videos and are we going to do any more? Well, yes, of course we are. It's just that the current political scene and the impact it's had on older people has dominated this channel for a few months, and rightly so. If you're not aware, we have a playlist with lots of our travel videos on there, so go and take a look. You never know, we might have included somewhere that you intend to visit, or maybe somewhere you've been and would like to look back on again. As for future content, well, we've just got back from a quick trip to Gibraltar, where we stayed on board the 5-star Sunborn Yacht Hotel for 3 nights, specifically to give you a new travelogue. The sacrifices we make to bring you some top content, eh? We'll publish it as soon as it's ready, I promise. So, now let's get into this edition. What's all this then about the Silver Fox being arrested? And who is he? Well, he's a YouTuber who has a channel called Silver Fox Hot Takes, and he rants at mostly Scottish politics but at UK national politics too, and obviously it's from the perspective of an older person who's lived life, has plenty to say about things, similar to our channel here at Grey Matters. Main difference is that we only have political content when it directly affects our senior citizens and pensioners, and currently it seems that most of the government's policies do exactly that. Now, Foxy, if I can call him that, puts out a copious amount of content. I mean, several times a day sometimes. And when you're that prolific, I guess there's plenty of opportunity for people to take offence. And that's what's happened here. He got an unpleasant call from the police one evening. Take a look.
At 9 o'clock last night, knock at the door. There was 2 police cars, 4 police officers. They took me away to Kettering Station, where I had a very good time. They were lovely people. I was kept in cell for a while. The duty solicitor turned up. Then we had an interview that lasted about an hour and a half. Then back in the cell. I managed to get a little bit of kip, and then they woke me up and said, OK, it's time to go. And off I went, and here I am back home.
That must have been really intimidating. He was arrested because an individual had complained about 4 of his videos. 2 about Starmer and the others about illegal immigration and the current German Chancellor. But the wily old fox believes there's more to it than that. Take a look at this next clip.
I will find myself being a little bit circumspect on subject matter to, ease myself back in a more careful manner. I don't want to give ammunition to the enemy, effectively. But I think it's absolutely appalling. Oh yeah, just randomly, 2 videos about Starmer. Oh, and we better throw one in about Germans and one in about, immigrants, illegal immigrants. And that way it doesn't appear as though we're really here about Starmer. That's the way I read that. But we shall wait and see. Thanks very much. Keep on fighting them. They're all buggers, aren't they? And we are many, they are few. Thanks a lot.
You see what's happened here? It's because of this insidious attack on our freedom of speech that the Silver Fox is now going to be cautious about what he says to avoid further problems. And that's just what this government and the mealy-mouthed minority wants. They want to shout you down and they want to shut you down for being offensive, homophobic, racist, transphobic, fueled by hate and so on, even if you're not, so that you're too frightened to exercise your basic human right to say what you want. And that's a right that the older generation has grown up with, without a second thought. If you'd put forward back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even the 90s, that you could hurt someone's feelings and be arrested for it, you'd have been laughed out of town. It wasn't on anyone's radar, except perhaps George Orwell's. The truth is, nothing you say is offensive, ever. Offence is taken, not given. If something you said was truly offensive, then everyone in the world would be offended by it. The fact is, just like appreciating wine, art and humour, it's all subjective. What one person finds offensive, another could find funny. Just because you're offended doesn't make it offensive. Except, of course, this is exactly what the government, the police and these crazy new laws are trying to do. To dictate what's offensive and then stop you ever speaking freely again. And incidentally, homophobia, transphobia, totally the wrong words. A phobia is a fear. And I, for one, I'm not terrified of anyone who's gay or trans. In fact, they're some of the loveliest people you could wish to meet. I doubt anyone's frightened of them. They need a better word. Now, I'll leave a link to the Silver Fox's channel in the description. So do please pop on over, subscribe, show him some love, watch some of his videos. I think you'll quite enjoy them. Now, we'll be back with David Lammy. Not here, not in the studio, I'm pleased to say. We'll be back with him and the reparations debate after this short break. See you in a mo. Hello and welcome back. According to some press reports, Foreign Secretary David Lammy is to open talks about slavery reparations after the Caribbean former colonies demanded, wait for it, £18 trillion. There is apparently a reparations commission of the Caribbean community, and the Telegraph has claimed that the Foreign Office is actually planning to meet them in April. However, the Foreign Office has angrily denied those reports. Notice the word angrily denied those reports. Methinks you doth protest too much, Foreign Office. MP Belle Ribeiro Addy, who chairs the all-party parliamentary group on African reparations, says she was surprised by the initial reports in the Telegraph, but added it was a shame they're not going ahead. Well, I think Lammy probably feels the same. Take a look at this older clip.
As Caribbean people, we are not going to forget our history. We don't just want to hear an apology, we want reparation.
After the government's financial attacks on our pensioners, such as the winter fuel payment debacle, claiming that they couldn't afford it, then as far as I'm concerned, any money given as reparation anywhere in the world will be one of the most appalling things they could do to old folk in the UK. And it would basically prove what we all know, that they lied. They got the money, they just don't want to spend it on pensioners. Already on the lowest pensions around the world, our old folk have been kicked in the teeth quite enough by Starmer and Reeves. But then I saw this from Lammy, which almost made sense.
It's not about the transfer of cash. That is not the debate I think that people are wanting to have. They're wanting to talk about the future.
What would reparations mean to you?
It's about partnership. It's about working together. It's about climate finance. It's about tech and creativity.
Not financial reparation. Well, I can kind of live with that. But climate finance? We've already committed 11.9 billion of our hard-earned money on other countries' climate issues, and then we go and import wood chips from the States on gas-guzzling, carbon-emitting ships to feed our power stations to make them greener. It's a complete farce, isn't it? Unbelievable. And you know, this isn't a debate about the rights and wrongs of slavery. It's about putting our old folk at the bottom of the heap again when it comes to splashing the cash. Because the government seems to have plenty to spare to spend overseas instead of looking after their own. But there again, maybe I should refer you back to our "Is the government trying to cull us?" video. And hospices are in no better shape because of changes in NI and various other financial aspects. They are really struggling and they're laying off staff. There'll be more about this in a future edition. The other issue, of course, with this government, we know they lie, they flip-flop like mad, and just because Lammy is now saying, you know, not financial reparations, but, you know, tech help and apprenticeships and whatever, doesn't mean to say that tomorrow he won't turn around and change his mind and start giving our money away again. Well, what do you think? Do let us know about everything you've seen in this edition. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell to stay notified of our future content. And, especially for one of our subscribers who complained the bell was a bit too loud, I've turned it down a bit this time. In the meantime, thanks for joining us. Stay healthy, and we'll see you next time on Grey Matters. Till then, it's bye for now.